We back with another banger. I want to say thank you for joining the livest YouTube channel in the land. This is Rod OG. I'm speaking directly to the OG community. I want to say, hey guys, I appreciate the love. Let's get this video right here to 5,000 likes, and let me get 1,000 subscribers. Yes, sir. And I want to, again, give a lot of love out to the OG community for supporting me. You know, I also want to give a shout out to my little brother, Dre OG, the founder of this community. Let's get into this next video. Let's go.
Never forget that. Michael Jackson saved me from getting on a plane to that tiny island.
So they're saying Neverland is where Michael Jackson took children to protect them from what was being done on Epstein's island. And because he was going against their regime, they punished him and they flipped the script and made it appear as if he was the one abusing them, when in reality they were abusing them, and he was protecting the children, he was protecting the celebrities. And you have celebrities like Macaulay Culkin who have gone on record to protect and defend Michael Jackson. This all makes sense. It has finally come together. This man has been dead for so long, but now it's coming together. Not only did he protect the children from the physical things that were being done to them, and you know what I'm saying, you just social media, gotta be careful, but he also were protecting them from the social and emotional abuses that were occurring by advising Britney Spears to get out from under her dad before the conservatorship and things of that nature. This man was a lifesaver. Nonetheless, those of you who are like me, help me fact check this, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure this is right, but this is what I've been hearing up to this point, and it all makes sense.
They bash Michael Jackson.
611 people.
Michael
That is
Jackson.
the number that was arrested yesterday for trafficking our children. All came about by accident, with a single tip that triggered a massive California human trafficking bust with some of the most despicable human beings known to mankind. But only 20 children were saved yesterday out of hundreds of thousands that go missing every year here in the United States of America.
Wow.
Out of the 611 people that were arrested yesterday, hundreds of them were identified as purchasers of these children. Many of them have been identified coming from as far away as Illinois, Oklahoma, and Missouri. The LAPD is quoted by saying that many of these children are put on the streets over there in Los Angeles, be victimized, and repeatedly over and over and over again, saying that many of these children just barely entered into their teens. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman called the trafficking network a modern slavery, saying the county has become a major hub for that type of crime. Saying to go as far as that Los Angeles County is one of the epicenters of human sex trafficking in the entire nation. Of course, all under the guise of Governor Gavin Newsom. I said it before, and I will say it again. The only way for these people to stop attacking our children is to make the punishment so unbearable, go after new legislation and change these laws, that if you go after our children and you compromise and you hurt and you find a way to get away with taking one of them and you get caught, no discussions asked, that you have forfeited your own life. A life for a life. That's what I suggest, Mr. President. Someone that takes the heart and the soul of one of our children, the penalty for that crime, no questions asked, should be to remove them off the face of this earth.
That or torture. Anybody that hurts children should be tortured.
Out of Maple Grove. This is the most disturbing arrest that we've had here. He is a backgrounder for ICE, Homeland Security, and federal agencies. So when you're getting your security clearance, this is one of the guys that does your backgrounds, which is kind of scary. So we locked him up, and I think if you're going to be, these people get access, they get a high security clearance. right? Because again, for all the ICE agents, Homeland Security agents, and people getting security clearance, this is one of the people that does the backgrounds. And you come here trying to purchase sex. We locked him up. I don't think he's going to be passing a background check no time soon.
I think it's really telling when we're talking about the Epstein files that we remember that there's multiple interviews of Jeffrey Epstein talking about Jesus. Except for he can't really say the name. Have you noticed that? He can't really say the name. He only ever refers to him as, like, a carpenter. Or the carpenter. Or, like, that. Which, by the way, is explicitly demonic. Because demons can't really say the name. They have to call him the carpenter. And they do that, one, to try and mock him. To make it seem like, oh, he was just a carpenter type thing. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein literally did that in an interview where he was talking about philosophers, and the interviewer mentioned Jesus, and he went, I thought he was a carpenter. Not interested in talking about that. Yeah, probably because you worship Baal, dude. I can't believe that. I'm still trying to struggle to comprehend that we have, like, documented proof of child sacrifice of the elites. That's insane. I can't believe I made fun of conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, can't make fun of things you don't know about.
Anybody seen Silence of the Lambs? The late great Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter. Did anybody ever hear of Hannibal Lecter? The young people didn't. Hannibal Lecter. Dr. Hannibal Lecter. The late great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. The late great Hannibal Lecter would like to have you for dinner. He would love to have you for dinner. He will take you. He wants you for dinner. That's the end of you, by the way. He'd love to have you for dinner. You, right there. Don't do it. If he suggests, I'd like to have you for dinner, don't go. They say, why does he keep mentioning him? Because Hannibal Lecter was a serious psycho. He was a slightly troubled patient. He mentions Hannibal Lecter. It doesn't make sense. No, it makes a lot of sense. They're coming into our country. And I say, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Oh, he likes Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter, how great an actor was he? You know why I like him? Because he said on television, on one of the, I love Donald Trump, so I love him.
Trump crazy. Oh my God, look at her eye.
Proof that we are sharing this planet with a non-human race. This isn't clickbait. I'm going to show you how you can see them as well. I urge everyone to go out and get one.
There's no way that was a human eye.
If you missed my last video, I went down to the BBC and everyone there showed up the same except the two guards outside, proving they are not human. Today, I went down to Buckingham Palace in London. Again, same thing. As I'm walking down, I'm filming, everything's showing normal. I filmed the guards outside of the palace. Exactly the same thing. No heat whatsoever. You can see right behind them, there is heat coming from the buildings, it's showing orange. But even when they're walking, how do you explain that? Again, I don't know whether they're reptilian, vampires, I don't know. I don't claim to know what they are. But what I would recommend is that everyone buys one of these things. And as I said, this is not clickbait. I've not amended the pictures. I've not adjusted the video in any way. This is exactly what I filmed today at Buckingham Palace. And anyone can replicate this themselves. So if you can, go out and buy one of these things and see it for yourself.
Hey guys, something so awesome is happening to me. I can't say too much just yet, but I'm really excited to go on this journey with you all. Stay tuned.
She's possessed.
I know what fucking journey you going on. You going to the gates of hell. That's where you headed. You look like you about to transform into a demon or some alien species or something. Drugs don't do that. Weed don't do it. Shrooms don't do it. Crack don't even do that. Or that fentanyl y'all be smoking on. And it ain't meth. You a demon. You the devil. You the devil. You need to, y'all, whoever with her, you need to stay away. And whoever fucking her, you better get you one last fuck in. Or else she gonna be fucking you. Head spinning around in circles and shit. I wake up, that bitch sitting on top of the ceiling and shit. No. Go on, send her back to the fucking gates of hell. Well, I'll wake up, this bitch sitting on top of the ceiling going through my damn phone. Start climbing on walls and shit. Gotta chase this bitch into the afterlife to get my damn phone back. No. That's, see, that's the problem with humanity. We always ignore red flags. Oh, I see it today, goddammit. That's a black flag. It's black as ever. Motherfucker, I like she one of the fucking X-Men. I don't got time for that shit. Nah, man. Hey, if we dating, we're done. And I'm fucking leaving you. If we were dating and I saw this video on the internet, or I woke up to you and your eyes were like that, guess what? I'm gonna go to sleep. You're gonna wake up, you're gonna go to work. And when you get home, guess who the fuck won't be there? Me. I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. I promise you, you won't hear from me or see me ever fucking again. I'll be a figment of your imagination by the time you figure out where the fuck I'm at. Cause no, I'm not going for that shit. No, go back to hell. I see you, Satan.
Can anyone tell me why all of these celebrities were seen wearing boots that were concealing an ankle monitor? Why would they do that? If their right ankle is broken, why would you see them the next day wearing the boot on their left leg? Doesn't make any sense. Unless they were forced to do this as a part of an optics operation to tell the public indirectly that they had been captured and they had to capitulate to whatever organization had caught them for the crimes that they committed. And they had to wear these ankle monitors that would follow them everywhere they went until they eventually got sent to a prison over maybe in Guatemala. So I think that I am finally able to talk about this now. Whenever I did post about this before, it would get taken down. But this is called the Q boot. There's a whole diagram showing exactly what it is. But all these actors, these people who were involved in Pizzagate had to wear this way back in 2020 and before that when they got caught for the crimes that they committed. So they had to wear this to conceal an ankle monitor so it wouldn't ruin their reputation, it wouldn't make the whole population of the world go crazy. And it would just keep things the same as they always were for a few years until over time people were able to learn the truth and not kill themselves basically over the horrifying things that they found. It had to be a slow, gradual process. If it wasn't like this, people would have been going, the population just would not have been able to survive hearing about the Epstein files way back in 20.
Well, for what they did to kids, they should have blew their dang ankles off. Blow their ankles off. At least blow one ankle off. We ain't worried about you going nowhere then. Now, when it's time for you to go do and serve whatever crime you gonna serve for the crime you committed, let's go. We could drag you there. You don't want to go. I mean, the things that they was doing to kids, why would you even? Matter of fact, you only need one leg now. I believe wholeheartedly, if you're abusing, torturing, raping kids, you should be tortured. Blowing off an ankle, blowing off a foot, that could be a start.
2020 or before that, it had to be 2026. Otherwise, people wouldn't have been able to handle it. And I mean, it's literally every celebrity. And if you dig deep enough, you'll find in the Epstein files that most of these people have been mentioned in there. And they all had to wear these boots to track them wherever they went. And also send a message to you, the public, that they had been captured. Do you get what is going on here? It's the art of war. The operation had to be this way. The underground branch of the military could not have done it any other way, otherwise it would have caused too much chaos.
Look again, anything on Super Bowl 60.
Is that Elon Musk? Hey, OG community, let me know down in the comments.
Tesla's
if y'all
pivoting
think that's
from
Elon
luxury
Musk.
cars to humanoid robots. That's right. Tesla is scrapping its iconic Model S and Model X lines to transform its California factory into a robot production hub. The CEO says it's time to honorably discharge the vehicles as the company shifts full speed into AI and robotics, betting big on its Optimus bot. With sales slumping and profits down 46%, Tesla is gambling its future on artificial intelligence, expecting 80% of the company's future value to come from robots and not vehicles. Optimus is projected to hit the market in 2027 for under $20,000.
So, I don't know if you're all still getting distracted with the Epstein files, but the conspiracy theorists were right again, as the New World Order has just been announced. Watch this.
The progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the New World Order.
Davos, we know there's the big housing speech. What else can we anticipate?
There's also going to be some look at the New World Order that President Trump is creating.
Do you know that reptilians and Draco, the blood sacrifices, the whole Luciferian thing, the kids being killed and eaten, I mean, that humans have been eaten and taken off planet, et cetera, and used for slaves in other colonies, etc.?
I hate to say that, but that's far worse than what you've just said.
It's far worse.
Yes, far worse.
Far worse, yeah.
And that, the whole blood situation it's unbelievable. And
right.
I don't know how we say that to the public. I don't know how. But wait a minute, just a second. On that part of this whole subject, to me, if we get into that, and I know all about it,
all right,
far more than,
sure,
all right,
I'm sure.
When we get into that, if we release it, 70-80% of everybody that listens to your program is going to say, you're smoking pot. I don't believe that, and I don't believe anything you people talk about on extraterrestrial. And it's going to kill what disclosure is trying to do. That's my opinion.
The pedophilia is starting to be exposed everywhere. You know that much.
Yeah, but you know the part that I don't want to talk about.
I hear you.
Okay.
Speak up.
If I was a Ring doorbell customer today, I wouldn't be a Ring doorbell customer tomorrow. I'll tell you that. Not after that commercial. Like, look, too many people ignored Project 2025. It was an open book test. People ignored it, and now here we are. Ring Door put a Super Bowl commercial on to tell the world that at any moment, for any reason, at somebody's request, they can activate every door camera in a neighborhood and find, they said a dog, because they know Americans love dogs. They could activate every Ring door camera in any neighborhood at any time and find.
So they can invade your privacy.
Big time, next level surveillance. Don't give away your rights. Again, if I was a Ring customer yesterday and today, I wouldn't be one tomorrow. They gave away the game. And then you know what? We should be glad they did.
They always do, though.
I'm sorry, the Ring camera wants to do what?
Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs.
That's straight up surveillance state. They are using dogs and dogs going missing to launch into a complete, utter surveillance state. Mm-hmm. And with ICE patrolling around and having their budget, abso-fucking-lutely not. Everyone should get rid of Ring, go to a new company, whatever the fuck. Ring camera ain't it.
I would definitely get rid of Ring if I was.
I should let you know, I don't believe in devil or this. I just believe in negative vibrations and positive vibrations.
Again, let's talk about this with Little Nas X. Oh, look at the face. I love your face. You're so expressive. You cannot hide.
I can. It's a really big problem I'm working on in my
marriage. But no, don't ever change.
Jimmy, what is wrong? What's happening with him?
He didn't seem like he was on drugs. He seemed pretty clear-headed. Okay, you're saying, but also on the easiest level, it was a straight-up con to promote an album.
True.
On the worst level,
it was a drug reaction.
In the middle, it was a drug. On the worst, his programming broke. If you know what that means.
Oh.
Are you with me on that?
I'm with you on it.
Because
the programming broke.
We can go for many people. I can give you 4 examples of people that have freaked out through the years in the valley. In the valley. What happened? There's people that have broke in the valley. So here where you go with your little positive, I'm about vibrations in Toluca Lake, and let's go to Bob's Big Boy, and everything is good. And there you go. Look at Kenny right now. Kenny's here, and now she don't want to speak on it. But you know, something happened.
Yeah. She don't want to speak on it. She know.
Watch his ear.
She was a child star.
Okay, I'm gonna track it. Look at his face. There's two faces there. There's a face behind a face. Quit moving. I don't know what's going on here. But watch. Look!
Well, let's take a quick look at Stephen Hawking. I've talked a lot about how Stephen Hawking was not a real person. He was a character. And people say, how dare you, Big Bear? How dare you? When Dave Chappelle makes fun of it in 5 years, we'll discuss it. But this is an actual translation. Before his robot voice, he had a translator who looks exactly like Larry Bird. Tell me if you think that anything about this is real.
I think, in a way, physics has been a progress away from mysticism towards a rational understanding of the universe.
Stephen, when did you first realize you wanted to be a physicist?
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10 that I wanted to be a scientist. Most of my activities, like playing with model fireworks, or model railways, or playing complicated games, was aimed in some way at finding out how the world worked around me. I was never very good with my hands, when my models did not work very well.
Okay, guys, we can all see that this is not real at all. It was normalized by Han Solo.
There ain't no way. Ain't no way.
At least 200. AI took over the world hundreds of years ago. Your history is all AI. Photoshop has been around for hundreds of years, through various means. Photos themselves are much older than we are told. At least 200 years. And I don't believe the first Photoshop is in 1857 like they say. The Mona Lisa was printed. It wasn't painted. Renaissance paintings like the Mona Lisa were made with 2-micron paint. 30 to 50 microns is the average today. It was perfectly layered and couldn't be replicated today. Yet we're supposed to believe that Da Vinci made it with mortar and pestle paints. Nothing today can be compared to what was being made in 1434 by Jan van Eyck. The reflection in the background is perfectly displaying the reversed image. No one can replicate this level of detail. This is a print, a laser print. Photoshop was also done through etching. We have all been getting catfished. How much of the history has been etched away? These are the original filters. Cartoon filter, whitewash filter, sepia, grayscale. Supposedly there were no Civil War photos in battle, but plenty right before. And it doesn't stop with people. Looks like a lively city block, huh? Those people are painted in. This is in the New York Public Library. You can see they're painted in if you look closely. That horse was never there. You can see they removed people from this one. Their legs are still there. I'm sure many of you know about the Vanilla Sky photos. What a terrible crop job there. They edit out the skies and remove buildings. The sky is commonly cropped out poorly. This whole building is superimposed onto this block. Yet they have been able to solve overexposure in the skies since 1867 with the collodion process. Oops, actually 1857. Yet we get vanilla skies even into the 20th century. Maybe this is why. Even in film we have layering. Half the people aren't even paying attention to this. History is worse than chicks with BBLs and filters. And don't get me started on the sculptures. I've actually been to this place too. The name of this piece is called Deception. It's made out of a block of marble. It's a fishnet made out of a block of marble, and he made it in secrecy. More laser technology that the mutants took over after the reset. That slightly raised pinky causing that muscle flex being captured perfectly like that. The Renaissance was a reset. None of these artists existed. The technology was usurped and used to whitewash the history. And there was a hard reset between 1776 and the Civil War. AI is the opposite of Yah. It's really AI. AI has existed since ever. It is a program that is being uploaded through organic AI, aka human programs. AI took over the world hundreds of years ago. Your history is all AI. Photoshop has been around for hundreds of years, through various means. Photos themselves are much older than we are told. At least 200 years. And I don't believe the first Photoshop is in 1857 like they say. The Mona Lisa was printed. It wasn't painted. Renaissance paintings like the Mona Lisa were made with 2-micron paint. 30 to 50 microns is the average today. It was perfectly layered and couldn't be replicated today. Yet we're supposed to believe that Da Vinci made it with mortar and pestle paints. Nothing today can be compared to what was being made in 1434 by Jan van Eyck. The reflection in the background is perfectly displaying the reversed image. No one can replicate this level of detail. This is a print, a laser print. Photoshop was also done through etching. We have all been getting catfished. How much of the
I think what we have here is something major. 10 days, that's 1,000 flights. That's about 175,000 people that won't be flying into a city that has really no other close by air service options. This is not a minor thing, but Fort Bliss might be part of it, but I really do think they've discovered something major on the ground in that area, El Paso and Santa Teresa, that means we might be attacked very badly. They wouldn't do this otherwise. This is not minor at all.
So the El Paso airport is responding to the FAA closure. This is what they said in the statement. The FAA, on short notice, issued a temporary flight restriction, halting all flights to and from El Paso and our neighboring community, Santa Teresa, New Mexico. The restriction prohibits all aircrafts operating, including commercial cargo and general aviation, to February 20th. What do you make of that statement?
It means they have found something in El Paso, in the area, that is a threat that's going to take them at least 10 days to try to ferret out and neutralize. This ain't minor. I mean, I just can't get over. This is not.
Listen, chat. Anybody in the comments, please, if y'all have researched this story about what was going on at El Paso, can somebody drop a link down in the comments, voice your opinion down in the comments, point me in the right direction where we can go and look this story up and find out what was going on in El Paso, the reason why these flights were canceled for 10 days. Please, somebody let me know. Hey, OG community, let's get on top of this. We exposing everything that's going on out here.
Not a broken wire in an air traffic control system. This is something where there is something on the ground in El Paso right now today that is geared to shooting down or destroying airplanes. I mean, that they wouldn't ground them otherwise. Let's put that right on the line here. But to say there isn't anything to it, I was just amazed at what that congresswoman said. It was just very inept.
So Pete Hegseth is calling all of his top generals home. I wonder why. ICE is sending all of these other immigrants back to their country. I wonder why. Everyone was just waiting on a rapture. They know that an event is coming. They just don't know what event is coming. I do. What you all are going to think is a nuclear blast that goes off. It's not. It's going to be a nova. They know that the sun is about to nova again. They've showed it to you in movies like Bird Box, TV shows on Netflix like Into the Night, where they were trying to stay ahead of the sun. Hell, they even showed it to you in Scooby-Doo. You remember the episodes when Scooby's girlfriend, the other dog, Nova, was on there? Go and watch that last episode. This is why they're going into their bunkers, people. A lot of people are not going to be able to withstand these novas that's coming. And it's not just going to be one. At first, I was worried it was going to be a supernova. But if it was a supernova, hell, it wouldn't matter if they went to their bunkers or not. But
I'm not kidding.
What the fuck?
Look at it through my phone.
What is that?
What the fuck is this?
Is that a portal?
Yo. It's a normal phone. Dog, no AI, zooming in and out. Here I am, Chandler, Arizona, Thursday. I don't know what the date is. What is today?
22nd.
Thursday the 22nd.
It's always some weird stuff going on in Arizona in the skies.
January 2026, Thursday.
What
the 22nd. Bro. Dude.
Oh, it's
for real though. What is that? It hasn't moved.
It's slowly disappearing.
It's a rip in the fucking dome.
Look, it's like going in and out. You see it glowing?
Yeah, it's fucking
It's like
crazy.
flaring. Look, it's.
What the fuck is that, fool? Boy, that shit's dropping on Earth, nigga. Whoa! Nah! Hey, bro, it's gonna start shaking. Hey, bro, that might be a plane, fool. Bro, that might be a plane, gang. Boy, y'all, what the fuck?
It's about to hit. It hit. It already hit. I know it hit. That shit just hit.
What the fuck?
The stores. No.
Damn, I wish I had my phone now.
The stores, nigga. No, that's not even stores. They're actual fuck, bro.
No, one's moving right now, bro.
Dude, you just called this motherfucker.
Look, it's moving again. It's moving again.
It is, and it's blinking.
What the fuck?
This nigga stupid.
He's lying like shit, bro. That's in space. Look at that. Look.
That's Roach Airlines.
Oh, Roach Airlines, this nigga
Look how
done.
fast they're moving.
But look how fast it's moving. Boy, it's going straight down. What the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
Nigga.
There's more.
Nigga on the dead homies, nigga. That shit was on fire. I swear to
It was
God.
on fire like a fucking.
Yeah, it was like a little
meteors are moving around quick as fuck. And then it turned.
Bro,
into
that
a
shit is
star.
following each other, bro.
That
Bro,
one's
what the
moving
fuck?
too. What is that?
Nah, that's not no planes, bro, because that shit was just on fire, bro.
I'm joined by Lindsay Stenton. She's the Chief Client Officer of DigiMe, and I want to talk to you about this jobs report. A lot of people are, of course, celebrating over it and touting about how great it is. But, of course, there's the other angle of this participation rate. Explain that to us and why we need to look at that.
Is it me or does she look like she didn't hit a good line, a few good lines? Look around her nose, it's all brownish looking. Like she got a tan around her mouth and her nose. And then the upper part of her face has no tan and her eyes like, what do we see there? I gotta hold my face to look like her eyes. That is wow. You on national TV looking like you are cracked out.
Absolutely. Well, we're in a very good position to talk about what's going on in the job market. We work with a lot of Fortune 1000 organizations, and we get a good pulse on what's ramping and areas of growth. We also work with quite a few staffing firms, and they're kind of the first ones to experience that growth. We're seeing tremendous.
Oh my God.
Blood of Jesus.
That's wild.
Esa cosa de dónde la sacó?
What the Fuji? What the Fuji is that?
Right now, of course, Savannah and her family are in unspeakable, unfathomable pain. We know in the U.S. that her extended family is legion. Savannah, my friend, it's the same way here.
Did y'all see that? That was weird, right?
Her extended family.
Why'd she say that word?
Does everybody chat? Did y'all hear that? Somebody in the comments, did y'all reply to that? Because I know I would only want to hear her family is legion. Like they are literally right out in public talking about these things, displaying these things. Like nobody is catching on to this. Nobody is paying attention, or we just don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Epstein files are now saying that Britney Spears is cloned. We all wondered what happened to the London look. Why does she have that gap in her teeth? It's because it's not Britney. The Britney Spears that we have seen, especially recently, is not Britney Spears. Who would put gaps in their teeth if they had perfect pearl whites? You remember Britney like this. This was Britney. This is Britney Spears. This is not. This is Britney Spears. This is not. This is Britney Spears. So Britney actually recorded a song called Original Doll. And here are some of the lyrics. The chorus says, she's the original, she's unforgettable. She wants you to know, yeah, she's been cloned. It's kind of incredible. She's so unpredictable. Yeah. She wants you to know, yeah, she's been cloned, she's been cloned, she's been cloned. And did this record come out? No, it was canceled for unknown reasons. What? I definitely feel like when Britney Spears was a judge on X Factor USA, it was still her. You can see the teeth there. I always just go by the teeth. The teeth really don't change that much. Whereas like a nose or your ears will grow as you get older. The teeth don't really change unless you get veneers or unless you chip your tooth, right? So I do feel like this still was Britney Spears, but the crash out Britney, I don't know. And now that the Epstein files have this document saying that they like cloned her, you know, it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she's making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business. What do you want to say to her, to the world right now? Stop. That's it.
She looks
all I have to say.
evil. Like he was a murderer or something.
Okay. The next question comes from a person who made
one of the best ways to learn to read energy or to learn how to act is to learn to replicate what you perceive. Bring that gesture into your body and amplify it to completion. Someone just gives a little flick of the finger. If you amplify and complete that gesture, its dismissive nature comes to the surface. Bring Erica Kirk's expression into your body, replicate it, and amplify it as far as you can, and notice how close it is to its extreme. And then notice how you feel in your body. Notice your breath. Feel what your insides are doing and the tension in your face and the stress in your body. And then try to add joy. Notice the chaos that appears because joy has a hell of a time living in a dark vessel. So if you don't want to look into somebody's eyes, you certainly don't want to see what's in their soul.
Eyes are the key to the soul.
And this might be the scariest one of all.
Window to the soul.
This is Congresswoman Plaskett. Her district's the Virgin Islands, where the infamous Epstein Island is. And he is texting her, showing his total control for a U.S. Congresswoman during a live hearing. A foreign nation has taken control of our country.
So this is an email from Howard Lutnick to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, Howie.
December 19th, 2012.
And he said 2005?
Over 7 years since that alleged massage table walkout.
Wow.
Hi, Jeff. We are landing in St. Thomas early Saturday afternoon and planning to head over to St. Bart/Anguilla on Monday at some point. Where are you located? As in, what is the exact location for my captain? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? I have another couple, Michael and Mary Lerman, with me on my boat. This is the wild.
Whoa.
And each of us has 4 children. Doesn't list their names. I want to point that out. He says 2 16s, 2 14s, a 13, a 12, an 11, and a 7-year-old. I remind you, this is 4 years after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted. How this guy has a job today is a disgrace. There is no room.
That's disgusting.
For nuance here.
No, that is disgusting.
Fired!
It's crazy because when the whole Karen thing was going on, somebody recorded it or Karen doing something, their job would, it'll be posted, their job would fire them immediately. Now you got these people, Congress people in these high positions that are literally raping and killing children, and they get slaps on the wrist and say, well, listen, we'll just step down, or, you know, and no. Hold these people to the same standard you hold anybody else to when they're breaking the law. Come on, people. Come on. This was what's wrong with this world. Think because you have power and status that allows you to do unhuman things to people. It's just not right.
Fire! I'm done with these fucking people. Fire this guy right now. What is your excuse? He's a liar. Neighbors with this dude. Claims he only ever met him once. Lived next to him for 20-some years. Proven liar. Advising the President of the United States every fucking day.
Come on, y'all. Expose Lutnick. Expose Lutnick. Let's get him fired. We got enough people in the community to express our outrage.
I'm so done with these people.
Yeah,
I'm so fucking done with these people.
That is absolutely abhorrent.
I'm so fucking done with these people.
And I gotta fucking file taxes in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
What?
That one just...
That is disgusting.
And nothing will be done. That's the thing. He'll have a job.
That's
He'll have a job
so
today. He'll have a job
weird.
tomorrow. He'll have a job next week. He'll continue advising.
What is the conversation when he's like, "Hey, I'm about to email Jeff back. You're 4. What are their ages? What are their ages? Like what a fuck."
If nothing happens over this Epstein stuff, you may as well give up on politics. If the fact that we now have confirmation that what the conspiracy theorists have been saying for years is true, that Pizzagate is real, and that there's no such thing as left and right, there's no such thing as a sovereign nation, there's just ultra wealthy people exploiting the poor to the point where they can get little girls and do whatever they want to them on an island, and all the evidence of it can exist, and instead of there being any repercussion at all, it's going to be discussed a little bit by a few people on Twitter, and they're going to continue doing exactly as they did before. If nothing happens over this Epstein stuff, if there's no mass raids, mass arrests, mass public trials, you may as well just give up on politics. May as well just give up. The system is so rotten, it's never going to be fixed. Even transparency isn't fixing any of this stuff.
He is absolutely
And the reason
right.
for it is not because the elites are actually so smart. It's not because they have all this power. It's because the crowd is apathetic. You care because you're on the internet, you're on Twitter. You might be watching this video on Instagram and you mentioned it to your friends sometimes. Well, by and large, nobody gives a shit. They've got us so distracted trying to pay our own bills, arguing with each other, have a problem with our neighbor over the lawn being mowed, don't like a black guy, don't like a white guy, don't like Mexicans. They put Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl. He speaks Spanish. That distracted most of you. What were you watching the Super Bowl in the fucking first place for? Who gives a shit? The fact that they can distract people so easily, they can divide people so heavily, means that most people at home are apathetic. They don't give a shit. If you walk around, I'm in New York now.
Divide
you
and
walk around
conquer.
New York and say, have you heard about the Epstein thing? Most people go, yeah, I heard. But they don't really care because they got to pay their bills and they have enough problems and they're stressed enough and they weren't there and it's someone else's problem to fix. They've got us so massively demoralized to the point now that every single conspiracy theorist can be proven true, and that you can know you are paying taxes to evil billionaires who intend on raping your daughters, and still no one's gonna do shit. Nothing's gonna happen. The system's gonna keep on limping on, and you're gonna pretend that this Epstein expose sticks something. Oh yeah, I'm sure Epstein was the only man who knew girls for the elites, I'm sure. Anyone who's been anywhere near the top, let me tell you, there's plenty of guys like him. Plenty. So here we are. This is it. This is the last stand. This is Geronimo. Alamo? What was it? Alamo.
The Alamo.
This is the Alamo. If people continue to not give a fuck, no point voting. No point left and right. No point anything. People don't give a fuck. People are busy. People got to pay their own bills. This is the world we're in now. The capitalistic nightmare has been built. Everyone's so distracted, constantly trying to make enough money to pay their taxes and pay their rent that nobody gives a shit, even when little girls get chopped up. That's the capitalistic nightmare. That's what we live in. Why vote? Why play the game? You may as well just get as rich as possible yourself.
You may as well just give up on politics completely. Get as rich as possible yourself. Who gives a shit how? Get rich. Maybe if you're a good person, you can get rich and not do bad things to kids. But most of you fucking weirdos and perverts probably will. If Epstein messaged you back then and you had a little bit of money, you would have gone to his fucking island. All these fucking celebrities would have gone. All these streamers, all these fucking weirdos are all doing drugs and shit. They all would have gone. The world's fucked. The world's fucked. And if there's not enough good, honest, hardworking people to put up big enough fuss to make it clear to the elites that things like this are not going to be accepted by the herd, if the herd is going to remain massively apathetic to probably one of the most devastating and disgusting stories of modern times, then you can expect nothing other than eternal slavery.
Bet you didn't see this. What do you suppose he was doing with 6 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid? I'll tell you what, we are not angry enough, and no, this isn't going away.
How you dispose of bodies.
And every single one of the people out there that aren't talking about this, you should be questioning. You should be wondering why.
Yes.
Because they are either involved or they are protecting those who are. And before I go on, I want you to watch this video because this girl, in any other situation, would probably seem like unhinged to people and they'd be like, this girl's crazy, she's blah, blah, right? She's not so crazy anymore, is she? She's actually completely on point. Watch this.
We all just learned as a species that every single important person in the last 50 years or so is a cannibalistic pedophile. Do you hear what the fuck I just said? Did that register at all? All of your celebrities, all of your politicians, all of your multi-million and billionaires, they're fucking and eating kids. They're eating kids. They're eating kids. They're eating kids. How the fuck is nobody upset? They're eating children. Not just Weird Dan down the street. The president. Several presidents. Not just of this country, of others. They are kidnapping. They are systemically selling children into sex slavery and then cannibalizing them. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to what the fuck I'm saying? We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. But all the people that have over $1 billion are sacrificing babies to...
She is absolutely right. All of these people that we look up to, wanted to be like great actors, great this and great that, and we thought they were just these great people. Man, the wool was pulled right over our eyes. But this is 2026. It's time for everybody to open up their third eye. It's time for everybody to actually see beyond the veil, see what's going on out here in the world. And we got to speak on it. Nothing's going to change if we don't speak on it. Back in the day, we had people who were willing to sacrifice for the greater good. They got us so scared now that we're scared to speak up for our own neighbors. We're scared to protect our own neighbors from harm. Like, we have to do better as a race, as a species, the human species, period. We just have to do better as the human species, protecting each other. Where has those values gone? I just don't know. You know, back in the day when they used to have, in school, you used to sing the national anthem. Everybody used to stand. It was pride in our nation. You know, they even, even religion used to be prevalent in school back in the day. Now, they take religion out. The anthem, like, what do we have pride in? It's like they want us to have pride in nothing so we can fall for anything.
An ancient god. I am not suicidal. My mental health is fine. I have a loving family and a great support system. I am not gonna hurt myself or anybody else. But you need to fucking open your eyes. Oh, it's just a lot to handle. Well, yeah! Well, yeah! Well, yeah! Because every important person and people you've never fucking heard of are raping and eating kids!
I know this is dark, and I know that it's hard to comprehend, but many of us have been talking about this for years. All these people who have been blowing the whistle on these horrific, terrible, evil realities. And every single one of us have also said that when it comes to light, it's going to be something that most people cannot handle and cannot even process because it's an evil beyond comprehension at this point. We're there. And most people are in that spot. They cannot comprehend this, okay? This isn't meant to be like a told you so, gotcha moment. It's meant to be more of an education moment, which is this. In addition to saying that you weren't going to be able to comprehend it or understand and weren't going to really know what to do with it, we're all also now saying enough of us have to say something about this and demand accountability or nothing is going to happen. And I just want you guys to ask yourselves, if this is not the line that we draw, and if this is not the thing that unites us as a people, regardless of where we stand politically or whatever else may divide us, whatever that is, if this is not the thing that brings us together, protecting the most innocent of us from the most evil reality imaginable, then what is it? And the worst case scenario in this is that it's all part of this demoralization process and eventually will become normalized, which we are already at a place where people have seen these things and just moved on to the next current thing, like the Super Bowl. I want you to just let that sink in for a second, okay? And in addition to all that, many of us have been saying that this is the goal. The goal is to normalize this kind of absolutely unimaginable, incomprehensible evil.
Despicable behavior.
And it seems to be playing out just like they want to, based on how many people are actually continuing to speak up about this and how many people are just kind of saying, oh, well, what do we do? But hey, I'm just a conspiracy theorist.
Link or send me where this document can be found. I'll pull it up and we'll go through this verbatim, word for word, and actually see exactly word for word what these doctors are talking about. Just so we can get a clearer view of what she's trying to describe.
Plasma field. They also monitored this energy field by copying this guy Thompson from Canada's Human Force Field Research, where he used these things here to make that machine. Can't find the guy anywhere on Google, it's fine. So here's where it gets really interesting. This guy, Dr. Edemenko, has an advanced theory that humans are anisotropic, which, by the way, is also what the plasma field is. Basically, it means that humans have to do with intention, that the direction goes in all types of different ways and changes, like that we're not the same all the time, that we can control our own energy. And this says man may be able to alter his external energy state in accordance with his internal energetic state. In turn, this could depend on his physiological processes. This has to do with spontaneous tissue polarization. Such fields may interact with externally imposed or induced charges. So basically, humans with intention can change their inner and outer energy fields to perform telekinesis because we're anisotropic. So are crystals, so is plasma. He also states that living tissue may possess new properties in terms of thermodynamics when compared with inorganic matter. Living molecules differ, and that there might be a difference between living and technical force fields. And this once again proves consciously our intention can indeed affect matter. Like that water bottle you stare at that you're trying to move because you think you might have telekinesis, maybe one day, but can't. Maybe practice it every day for a year and see if something moves. And read a book on magic about attention and focus. This is the most important part about like time bending. So he also talks about what he calls biogravitation. It refers to the ability of living organisms to form and detect gravitational waves, which I just call plasma waves. Well, I think it's an interaction of plasma that creates what we call gravity, and we think about it all wrong. But anyway, He bases his theory on accepted concepts of molecular biology and high energy physics, which is what is so important. It's scientifically based. He goes on to say that in molecular biology, intracellular molecules, to alter their spatial structure, is recognized. This is a real thing. So they transfer from a liquid to an orderly crystalline state. As a result, this creates a gravitational field that is quasi-gravitational nature, what I would call a plasma field, and on a subcellular level emits minute gravitational waves. He felt that psychic subjects in some matter have the ability to synchronize their subcellular molecules and the changes to generate gravitational fields with sufficient strength to alter electromagnetic or natural gravitational forces to act on the target, the apple. They also think that changes in a space-time continuum may be the basis for observed telekinesis. Time may be accelerated or decelerated by the psychic subject. Doctor Strange is real. But literally, this goes back to if you're in flow state or you're writing and time goes by faster or sometimes it goes by slower and you feel like you got so much done in that couple of hours. I literally think that's your attention and focus literally bending time. Laugh all you want. We've experienced it, right? What I love is he literally compares this magical plasma process of time bending to what realistically happens in molecular biology. I have to buzz past this part because I have a really important point, but this woman could stop a frog's heartbeat with telekinesis, which obviously concerned them. This guy floated stuff in the air. Look at it yourself. If you want a screenshot, that's stopping the frog heartbeat. Okay, here's where they talk about that nearly anyone can do this, telekinesis, if they learn how. And this is a contraption I think you could build to practice your own telekinesis. Okay, the plasma field. He compares it to magnetism, but with finer structures and an unstable fluid field. He even says it might be formed by very easily movable plasma particles that under the influence of external factors, human intention, are never in a completely chaotic state, but rather very unsteady. He says a fixed gaze is the best way to use your intention on this. He also thinks that the man's brain and the processes of thinking are accompanied by the motion of plasma particles, and that this motion is the source of excitation or the modulator in this hypothetical field, plasma field of very fine structures. Y'all, the plasma field is the low frequency, subtle vibes. We are the TV. We are the high frequency carrier signal modulator.
I want to thank you again, OG community, for joining me on this journey here on YouTube. I want to thank you guys for all the support that you've been giving out. This has been an excellent day. I love this video. There's more to come. Let's get this up to 1,000 subscribers. Let me get 5,000 likes on this video. Let's run it up. And I got more videos coming. Don't sleep or you might miss something. I'll be right back with you guys. Much love, much peace. Take care of your family. And like I said before, man, we got to start looking out for each other.